Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Under 10.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Oh, you got deep? Hey, check 24. Check 24. Check 52.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he gets this one down to the 24. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 24. And he'll give it here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
He's coming. We got double up.
They'll try the left side. Simmons. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Let's go. Henry. Mike 51. I got him.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down, Bengals.
Down.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. 5.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Rush in. Rush in. Rush in. Chopper. Chopper. Mike 52.
2nd and 5. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Complete to A.J. Green. A gain of 9 yards. And a Bengal first down.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Lucky. Pilot, 64, weak. Ready.
He'll look to throw. He completes it to Boyd. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
First down, Cincinnati.
Let's go now. 10 logo. I smell fear in that offense. Hey, Alpha. I smell fear in that. Get it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 60-or.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Ready? 18 Gator. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Come off the ball, hard.
2nd and 4. Buying time to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. They'll set up to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the run. Yep. Get the cheese and Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. All day. Protein spill. Undercrunch. Go.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Check to 61. Matchbox light.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Second down and inches. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now. Go. Let's go, D. Kill. 80 weapon. Kill. Fight.
Mixon with a first down carry. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. That's what I do. Get ready.
They're going to look to throw. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. In for the score. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Bengals 14, Browns nothing.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. Over the middle, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Come on, Shaq. Take your arm. Come on, Jeff.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The Bengals and Browns, this is one of our final few NFL 100 series games. And speaking of series, the 92nd meeting between these two teams. The Bengals holding the 50-41 all-time edge. Last year, the Browns won both games, one in November, then again on December 23rd. And both of these franchises founded by Coach Paul Brown, who, of course, the Browns are named after. But then he would later go downstate to help found the Bengals in May of 1967. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You can't block me. You can't block.
Here's 2nd and 8. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage. Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Watch the pass. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Slam. Stop on. Flare. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
On first down, it's Simmons. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Come on, fellas.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. All day.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
General West.
Now Joe Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Bravo. Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
On play action, they'll throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
51 the mic, boy, 51. Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Now back to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And an alley to run. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Incomplete from the contact. Results in a 4th down.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll try and run for it. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the 1st half.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this 1st half of action. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Mixon will get it to start the 2nd half. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Shift. Switch. You draw Porter. Joker. Take up.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They'll run with Madison. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All day, dog.
Hey, high 7.
54. Mike 54.
2.
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man, Boyd. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd His third touchdown now on the year. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one. And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them. They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, pick your game up.
2nd and 11. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions. Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll drop the throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Russell. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
46-yard line.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. He's checking. He's checking. Come on. Come on. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go, D.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Mike 51. Mike 51. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Hey. 81. Show it up. Ball trot.
Back to throw here. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Coming this way. Here we go. Whip. Watch the whip.
Greystone travel.
Light spot 4. Hey, watch it.
Ready?
Again, it's Mixon. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Set. 8, read.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
That is 3 plays and out. It's 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, here we go.
Back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Second and goal from the 1.
Check nine, check nine.
They'll keep it on the ground. Simmons. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now 3rd and goal.
Let's go. Henry. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Check 13. Check 13. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check.
They'll try to run this one in. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
Watch the pass. Hey, Mike 51.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 3 yards out. And the Browns get a score closer. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here.
He's tired of you. He's tired. Trey. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Watch the run. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51.
They'll try and throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Second and 12 at the 23-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
I don't even know why this team showed up. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 52's the mic.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Here we go on second and 12. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
On the ready.
Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Yeah.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52.
6-6. Bullet high.
Check. Crunch.
Take them.
On first down, Mixon, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Set up. 60 Pittsburgh.
Check 53's mine. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Look at me. Go. Hit it.
He'll look to throw. Able to get away. Stays on his feet. And he breaks through another tackle. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long.
Get him.
Rock it.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And taken right on the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's a big play there for the Browns. 46 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
51.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
51's the mic. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Go, Mike, 51.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Second and 4. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Now it's Mixon running right. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
A big play there for the Bengals. 41 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On the run, it's Mixon. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a one-score game.
X3, 218, chopper.
Here's a run with Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a whistle and a timeout defensively. Trying to stop it, and they do with 2 seconds to go prior to the 2-minute warning. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Here's Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Important extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, watch that.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. So that'll back them up 5.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey, coach, up.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Von Bell, and he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock. So 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Protein spill. Cut.
Check, nickel. Check. Let's go.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Going deep down. And got his man complete. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 99 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Bullock good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Cincinnati, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will head